Choosing my own happiness is making me feel like the worst person in the world. I lost my husband 10 years ago after he succumbed to his illness, and after getting served the $150,000 medical bill, I miscarried our baby due to stress. I was broken, so I sold my home and moved away, using the remaining money to buy a small apartment and start new. People say being a widower is hard, but it's impossible to explain. I still wear my wedding ring after 10 years, and still carry the pics of our first ultrasound in my wallet. I truly believed I'd never find love again. I even became an alcoholic at one point, but then I met my coworker Jason, and he changed everything. Or at least he came as close as humanly possible. You see, he was in the middle of a nasty divorce with his abusive wife, who hid him in front of the kids. His parents lived close by and wanted to move to somewhere warmer, but not until the end of the year. The divorce was ruining him financially, and inflation made it impossible for him to get a place. So, I made a decision that I'm still unsure if it's the best or the worst of my life. I offered him a bedroom. He tried to decline because he had two little girls, 6 and 7. He couldn't leave them. His wife wanted everything but them, and wanted to sign over rights in exchange for their house that he paid for. It was heartbreaking, and if anything made me more determined to help. I agreed to let him and his girls move in for 30 days as a trial. Well, it's been 9 months, and it's been amazing. But there is where it gets sad. I've fallen in love with him and the girls. I haven't felt like this since my wedding day. I tried swishing down my feelings at first, but every time he made breakfast, every time he booped my nose, and every time the girls asked to play, my heart melted. I was getting used to feeling alive again. But then last month, Jason came with news. His parents agreed to let him move into their house, and he and the girls were finally gonna give me peace. I remember my heart dropped. I congratulated him, but on the inside, I was crying. And this is where I made the oopsie boopsie of a lifetime. You see, he moved out last weekend, but before he did, I made a huge goodbye dinner on their last day. I went all out, even making my late husband's favorite meal. I remember the girls ate dessert and got banana pudding on their nose, and I was overcome with emotion. This was the last day I would feel joy for likely the rest of my life. And then came time for them to go. The three of them climbed into his car to go to their new home, and through the window I hugged him. I held him for too long, and in that exact moment, I leaned in and went to kiss him on the cheek. He went to do the same, and we kissed on the lips. Neither of us pulled away until one of his girls made an screech. I went red and mumbled something before closing the door. I remember he came back in the middle of the night and knocked asking to talk, but I didn't open it. He kept calling me and texting me, but I didn't respond. I just cried, feeling like I had cheated on my husband. I remember one of the days I got drunk, and after some rambling to myself atop a hill, I concluded that when it comes to Jason, it was the life I should have had by now. With my husband here with me, the 2 kids we planned on having in a house with toys, laughter, cries, and spats. This should have been my life, but the man in my house was the wrong person. It wasn't my 6'2" green-eyed Prince Charming, and as much as I loved them, the girls weren't ours. I missed my husband, and I missed even more the life we were robbed of. I realized that nothing would compare to my husband, and I didn't want anything to compare it to. And so, I made the decision to rob myself of happiness. I looked through Jason's texts and started reading them for the first time. They went from him just asking me to talk, to him saying there was something we had and he didn't want to lose, to him apologizing, and finally to him asking if we could return to being friends and just forgetting everything. When I saw that last text, I put my adult pants on and called him. I told him everything. I told him that he was freshly divorced too, and I wasn't a rebound. That with my insecurities and comparisons to my husband, it wouldn't be fair to pursue anything with him, because even though I think I fell in love with him, I need time to confirm if it's with him or just the life I was supposed to have. Thankfully, he understood. He asked if we could still be friends, and I swear my heart involuntarily skipped a beat. I jumped so fast at that option, because as much as I don't want him, I want him. I missed him. I missed the girls. I missed having meaning. I missed waking up feeling like SpongeBob and not Squidward. And then, he said he wanted me to come over for Christmas. He didn't ask me to. He wanted me to. I was so excited. I couldn't wait to see him again. And I bought the girls some presents from me and Santa that same day, and told him I'll come over tonight once the girls go sleep and stay until after Christmas. He seemed so happy. I swear I heard the man smile through the phone. But unfortunately, life isn't sunshine and rainbows. I told him that as excited as I was to see him again, we needed to have that adulting talk that a phone conversation won't suffice for. He promised me we would. And he also promised me that whatever happened, I was special. I felt my heart flutter, and all I could respond through my blushes was, "You're special too, Jason." But then when as I said it, I realized I couldn't stop it, and it was happening all over again. I started stammering and quickly hung up saying I'll be there soon. I'm going over right now. I don't have time to finish the story in this short video, but it gets intense. Click the link to watch it.